Well, good afternoon. It's been a long time since we've spoken about the origin of each letter of the alphabet. And as you recall, the origin of each letter was a drawing probably on the wall of caves, and drawings on pieces of slate or rocks. But each letter, as you recall, was first a drawing, a picture. You remember the book that I'm working on called I Love My ABCs, or I Love My Animal, and My Two-Story House, and then My Cup. So I'm going to do a very brief review before we finally get to one of my absolute favorite letters or pictures. It's the letter K, which originally was not a K. Originally it was a arrowhead stuck probably in a tree. Look at an arrowhead in a tree. Looks a little bit like a K, doesn't it? But we'll get to that in a minute. So just in quick review, this was about Abe and Anna Animal. Abe and Anna. And of course, you know it's not about a banana. We talked about that before. It's about Abe and Anna Animal, not a banana. Okay, so here they are. They're taking a walk. And we know about that. There was our first introduction to the letter A, which originally was the animal's head. And then we went on to B, which was a two-story building. Often they had a bathroom or a bedroom upstairs. And there's a one-story building, but that's not going to help us much. Oh, there's a two-story building. And then we went on to C, which was a cupped hand, which eventually became, cup. So we talked about that, and then we talked about D, which was a door. We talked about a door. See the door. This is architecture, I think. And then we did E, which originally was a man or a woman rejoicing. See the arms going up. Eventually it turned on its side, but that took a long time. Then we talked about the F, which became a fish hook. Originally it was a fish hook. No, it was a fish hook that became an F. See, it was a fish hook to catch the fish, and it became an F. So, and then we talked more about that, remember. And then we talked about a G, but a G started with a C, because here's a C, but if you want to grab something, you can't grab anything with a C. You have to grab it with a G. So the C became a G. See it there? And you can see it here. See, that's the little thumb coming back in. You remember all this stuff. And the G. And then the H, we talked about the H, which was a ladder, originally a picture of a ladder. And then it became an H. It became look at the word help. It starts with the H. That's funny. And then an I, which is really an interesting picture. The original I was actually a hand. Anybody here have living relatives? Put your hand up. And you're saying, I do. I do. Well, then if you do this, that's the top of a capital I. It also became a Y. It's the same. The Y and the I came from a picture of the hand. Because look, that looks like a Y too, doesn't it? So we talked about that, but we have to keep going quickly until we get to today. Here you go. Arrow, it's arrowhead stuck in a tree. And look at this. if you put a dark line here, doesn't that look like a K? But it's not a K. Became a K. Okay? Oh, look, okay. Okay. Oh, K. People say that all the time, don't they? They say, okay. Anyway, this became a K, but first it was an arrowhead. And this is one of my favorite letters. I love this letter. See the tree? I don't know if I don't think that arrowhead could hurt that tree. I really don't. Anyway, now look, here's a lot of words that start with the picture of an arrowhead. And it makes sense. Look at the word kill. Well, sometimes people use arrows to kill deer. You know, hopefully they take it home and eat it, cook it first. I'm not a big fan of killing things, but we do. We do, and we eat because we have to eat, you know. That's the way we are. We're human beings. We have to eat. So, and then look at the word key. Starts with a K because you go like that when you put your key in. It's like an arrow shooting. And king, well, king is often a powerful person that has soldiers. Maybe they years ago, they used to have bows and arrows, all those warriors and those soldiers. And kick, look at kick, when you kick something, you kick your foot out. And then kitchen, well, that's where you're cooking, even though cook starts with a C, but cook is often used to start with a K. And then kiss, you're pointing your lips and you're trying to kiss somebody. And then kind, you're showing your love towards somebody else. That's kindness. And then to keep something, you have to keep it. And then a kid, oh, look at okay. People say okay. And then if you're in a boxing match, sometimes the one person KOs the other person, knocks them out. They say, oh, he was KO'd. Look at that, KO'd. Isn't that funny? Now, there are many words that we have that start with a K, but we do not pronounce the K. Many words. And I'm wondering why they put a K on a word that they don't need the K. I mean, just don't need it. You don't need a K. Now look at the word knife. A knife, when you sound it out, you're saying N. N. You're not saying k, k, k. You're saying N. You're saying knife. Well, why is there a K there? Makes no sense to me. And look at knock. When you knock on the door, the word knock sounds like it starts with an N, N-O-C-K. Anybody could make a mistake trying to spell these words because these words are very strange. I mean, if you're having a spelling contest and somebody says to you, okay, spell the word knock, you're probably going to say N-O-C-K, aren't you? But you'd be wrong because it starts with a K. It's K-N-O-C-K. Let's look at some more of these. A knee, to knit. Look, when you're knitting, you have knitting needles, and they're sharp. They're sharp, just like a arrowhead is sharp. And then a knot, I don't know what to say about the word knot, except that they put a K on front of it. Knuckle, knowledge. Knowledge makes you sharp. Oh, he's really sharp, that guy. That woman is really a sharp lady. To know something. To kneel down, I guess it hurts your knees. I'm not sure about that. I think it does hurt your knees. But a knight used to ride on a horse, and he had a sharp sword and probably a bow and arrow, so a knight. But we don't say knight, we say knight. And and new and knob, like a doorknob. Why would a word knob have a K in front of it? I mean, it makes no sense, does it? K-N-O-B. Well, there is a reason. You tell me what the reason is, okay? Oops, there it is again, okay? You tell me what the reason is. I'll give you a hint. That's the reason. They put a K where they're trying to say something is sharp, or something pierces, or something is focused, something will strike home. So that's why they use K often in a word and they don't even pronounce the K. Okay? Now let's look at some names that have a K in it, because a lot of people's names, first names, and some last names too. Kathy, Kent, Kay, Kelly, Kendall, Kim, Kingsley, Kelby, Curry, Kai, Kyle, Kristen, and Kobe. Remember Kobe Bryant? Kobe Bryant, yes. So a lot of our first names start with a K. Now, a K doesn't really, it's not a bad thing, even though the word kill starts with a K. But a K is not a bad thing. What it's trying to say is somebody is very focused. They can aim at something, aim at a target, and they'll hit the target. They can have a goal and they'll achieve their goal. It's a good letter. Well, all letters are good. All letters are good, as you will learn, as you are learning. But K is one of my favorite letters, and I hope it's one of your favorite letters. I hope you have a K in your name, because if you have a K in your name, whew, you are one special person. And because you're focused, you're powerful, you can strike home, you can reach your goal, you can fly through the air like an arrow would, you can shoot high. You got a lot going for you with that K. And plus a lot of other wonderful letters in your name. I mean, it's awesome. There's awesome stuff going on here. All right, that's the K. Now tomorrow or next day, whenever we're going to have the next letter of the alphabet. I'm going to let you guess what it is. You probably know, but it is a real winner. Believe me, it's something you can really lean on in life. Okay? Have a wonderful day. Remember, it's never not now. Okay? Bye.